Now see this problem example that you have in your figure, that you have a column over here, but the support conditions about the both the directions are different. So what the problem says is that you have two smooth and rounded fixed plates restrain the end A from moving in one of the vertical planes of symmetry but allows to move in the other plane. Now if you see over here, the bottom part B, it's fixed. So here you have a fixed cantilever end. But if you take a look at this top over here, if the column is trying to buckle about this plane over here, that is about the y axis, the column is trying to buckle about this one over here, then in that case this end A does not have any restriction, so it acts like a free end over here. Whereas if the column is trying to buckle about the ZZ axis, so that is the column is trying to buckle something like this over here, then in that particular case you have a fixed end B, but here you have a pin kind of a support because it does not allow any translation, but it's a smooth rounded edge, so the tip is touching at this column, so it will allow for some amount of rotation but no translation over here. So this is a case where for the same column, depending upon the direction that you are looking at, you have two different support conditions. And also, as you can tell from these dimensions itself, your A and the B are different, so your I's are also IYY and IZZ are also going to be different. So let's see what the problem asks. So the problem asked for the first case is that to determine the ratio A over B of the two sides corresponding the most efficient design against buckling. Now typically in structural engineering terminology, when we talk about the design being efficient, is that you are not biased towards allowing the column buckle, carry more amount of buckling load in one direction as opposed to the other direction. So essentially what you're trying to do, that the PCR for one, for example, that is when it is buckling about the YY axis, will be equal to the PCR above PCR2, that is maybe say the buckling about the ZZ axis over here. Now once you have determined that ratio, that these two buckling loads are equal about both the axes that you're looking at, what the problem asks you is to design the most efficient cross section of the column. Now let's see what the data is given. You are given the length of the column over here, you are given the modulus of elasticity, and you are given two other things, that is the load P that it is acting and the factor of safety. So the maximum load the column can take is going to be 20 times 2.5. So this will dictate your part B. So let's go ahead and take a look at the part A in the beginning, where you have to determine the ratio of these two sides of the column, that is A to B. So let's make maybe a couple of quick notes on that efficient design of the column and start solving the problem for the part A. So what I just wrote here, that the most efficient design is when the buckling strength about the YY axis over here is the same as the buckling strength about the ZZ axis. Now for these two separate instances, let's go ahead and see that what is the LE, what is the the I, the area moment of inertia that you have. So first we are going to write about the YY axis over here. So about the YY axis, when the column is trying to your buckle over here. So about the YY axis means it is about buckling is happening about this. So if you take a look at this one in a similar kind of configuration, this is your YY and this is your ZZ that you have. This is your ZZ and this is your YY. So the column is trying to buckle like this, and when it is trying to buckle about this plane, so maybe if I want to indicate over here, it is going to be about something like this. It is trying to buckle, so this may be the buckled configuration of the column in either direction. I'm just drawing in both the directions. And about the buckled configuration of the column that you have, so your you have to calculate your IYY, and remember that for this case your condition is the free and a fixed case over here because there is no resistance, and the IYY is going to be 1 over 12 of A times the B cube that you have over here. So let's make a quick note of these things. Now, since it is the free fixed case, remember from our discussion on the effective length, the effective length LE is going to be twice the length of the column, that is 2L. So let's make a note of that. So that is the buckling about the YY axis. Now buckling about the ZZ axis that you see over here about the ZZ. So that means the column is trying to buckle about this one. So if I again have to try to sort of draw. So this is going to be the buckling shape and it is trying to buckle about the ZZ axis over here. So for that one we have a pin and a fixed case. So let's make a note of that. Remember, for the pin fixed case the LE is 0.7 times L, and in this case your IZZ is going to be 1 over 12 B times A cube. So now, as I said, for the most efficient design we will have the buckling strength about the YY axis is same as about the ZZ axis. So we just simply need to equate PCR1 equals to PCR2 and then try to find out that what is the ratio of A to B that you will get over here. So I will do the algebraic manipulations here and you can come back and check. So if you solve this one, cancel out the terms and so on, eventually you will get the ratio of A to B as 0.35. So this is what the problem also asks you, that what is the ratio of A to B so that you get the most the efficient design against the buckling that you have. The only thing which we had to make notes of that the boundary conditions were different about both the direction as well as the eyes were different. So that takes care of the first part of the problem. And for the second part, what the problem essentially asks you is to find that what is the design the most efficient section. So now you have to work out the numbers that you have for A and B, because you see something is given already over here. So the power for the part B, you're given that P equals to 20 and factor of safety is 2.5. So the maximum allowable load or the maximum buckling load that you will have is going to be 20 times 2.5 over here. And then all you have to do, you have to equate that to either this or this one over here. Why? Because this and this I have already equated to find the A raised to B. So either if you put it here or if you put it here, you will get the values of the A and the B as the same thing. So if you just write the part B of the problem, that we have P allowable, which is given as 20, is equal to the critical load PCR divided by the factor of safety that you have over here. So this essentially gives you your critical load or the buckling load becomes equals to 20 times 2.5, that is 50 kilonewton. Now if you substitute this one into either this equation or this equation, remember we had equated them, the A and B are now structured in a way that these two are equal for the most efficient section, and the problem asks you to design the most efficient section. So if you substitute in either of them, let me go ahead and maybe substitute in this particular case over here and see what is the value of A and the B that I get. So if you solve this particular one that you have over here for IZZ, remember is nothing but this one over here, 1 by 12 B times A cube. So you put A as 0.35 B, so you will get this entire thing in terms of the B over here, and the L is also given. L is given as 0.5 meter, and if you take care of the units and so on, eventually what you will get as the the value of B, that you will get as 39 mm. Now remember, here all I have done, I will just repeat myself. E I have put as 70 GPa, IZZ I have put over here as 1 by 12 BA cube. So IZZ, I will just explicitly write it 1 by 12 BA cube, which is nothing but 1 by 12 times B, and A, as we know from here, is 0.35 times B, right? So this entire thing is in terms of B, and here your L is half, 0.5 meter over here. So if you substitute this whole thing, it will be in terms of B. You take the fourth root of that answer and you will get B equals to 39.7 mm, and correspondingly we know that the ratio of A to B is 0.35. So the value of A your comes out as 0.35 B, which is 13.9 mm. So this is, now you have designed the section after computing the ratios to be the most efficient section, which is resisting in bending, right? So I hope this problem example was also clear to you for the column. So we looked at two problem examples. In both the problem examples, the interesting thing was you had different eyes about the different directions, and also the depending upon the support conditions, your the end supports were different, and as a result of which your LE, that is the effective length, also changed, and which depends upon the total length of the column that you have over here and the different support conditions at the two ends that you are looking at.